I'm Grace Joy Wanjikungumi. I'm a 4.1 student, School of Law, Jkuat. I also serve as the Vice Chairperson, Jkuat. Today's event is about the feminization of politics and political spaces. It's a civic dialogue that aims to bring in the young women of Kenya into into political and policy making spaces. I really do expect the young ladies in Jkuat to understand that you don't need to shed your femininity to actually be in these spaces and to thrive in these spaces. For very long, we've been told that siasa ni ya wanaume.
We are here to have a civic dialogue about the engagement of young women in political practices in Kenya currently.
Nataka tuanze kidogo tu, not something hard, kitu rahisi tu, sawa sawa. Kila mtu ainue mkono, left hand. Hapa. So, down, up. Hivi tu. Hiyo ni ngumu. Mlazi. Pole tu, dance bila jasho.
From Badili, Africa, a project officer. I'm honored to have our executive director, Abinstars. But before she takes the mic, my team from Badili, can come and introduce yourself.
It's Basil, Communications Officer, Badili, Africa.
Brian, I'm a Communication and Graphic Design intern at Badili, Africa.
My name is Jessica Kariuki, and I work with Badili Africa as a project support staff.
My name is Bina Maseno from Badili, Africa. At Badili, Africa, we're so passionate about ending sexual and gender-based violence. We're passionate about cultivating the leadership engagement of young men, of young women, and also of grassroots women in the community who are organizing in Chama. We're in the urban informal settlement of Nairobi, so we are both in private and public university. Young people account for more than 70%. When voter registration began, IBC was targeting approximately 7 million, and then 6 million, right? IBC was targeting 6 million. Who knows how many people IBC managed to register here? If you know. Take a guess. 1.7. It was 2.4 million. 2.4 million is not even half the target for the first-time voters in this country. According to you, why? Why is it important for us to get in elections?
Okay, my name is Elifet. I'm a student of strategic management. The reason as to why I think we should be engaged in elections is that being engaged in elections allows you to elect a leader whom you believe and you trust that is going to lead you well and really of good thing. It's important that we elect leaders, not politicians. The difference between a leader and a politician: a leader is concerned about the next vision, not the next election.
My name is Natasha. I'm a student here at Jkuat, and I think it's important for people to engage in elections because I think it creates a sense of responsibility as individuals. I think it's high time we let go of the norm that your one vote would create a difference, and once you begin to be interested in elections and in voting, you'll actually follow up on the people who are vying for this position, and you'll have an interest to know who is worth the position.
Now I have the honor of inviting our host as well for the day.
Frinda Manzala, I'm the Dean of Students. And I take this opportunity to welcome not only Badili, but all of us, both the students and if they are the staff. You are welcome to this event. We are happy to have you around. I assure you that the university management is very much in support, and they give approval for this event because they know it is very important. Verification of voter registration. Young people, do you know how many you are? Over 75%. Now that you are the majority, what are you doing about leadership in this nation? You know, charity begins at home. What are you doing about leadership in this our home? What are you doing about leadership in your village? That village of yours, my friend, don't be directed. They are waiting on you. Especially now that you've come to this prestigious university, Jkuat. Here, we train you in both sciences and the technology and innovations and the entrepreneurship. By the time you leave this place, you are equipped in all those ways. So, what are you doing? What are your plans? What is your vision for this university, for the village where you come from, for Georgia, for whatever country you come from, and for Kenya? And of course the world. You know, what is your vision? Because we want all of you to vote. As you choose your leaders, I like the definition one of you gave. That politicians are not necessarily leaders. So make sure, my friends, you choose leaders.
Let's appreciate our dear students of the thank you, Professor Wanzala, for your remarks. We're happy to have you with us this morning. So allow me to welcome another guest before I even take my seat. And also, I really appreciate the student leadership led by Grace and Fradina and the team that has helped mobilize for today's events. I think we'll be listening to you shortly. But for now, help me appreciate our partner who's going to see very president. Karibu sana to give a few remarks on behalf of ACT.
Everyone. Yeah, my name is Kerubo Unyancha. I come from an organization, ACT. You can see it there in red. It means ACT, Change, Transform. ACT, Change, and we transform. ACT is working in partnership with Badili Africa to ensure that we have a space for youth, space for women in election. At the same time, we are advocating for peaceful election. As you can see, it is say Kenya electoral conflict mitigation and civic education. So what we are here today is to ensure that there is that civic education whereby the majority youth in Kenya, the 75% of the madam amesema, take part in that to ensure that we have changes. Because we can only have positive changes if we participate. We take part in our democratic rights. But how can that be possible? Come on, youth, our typical register. Is that even possible? Let's not be used by politicians who want to get to power when just to fulfill their greediness. Let's choose the right leaders. Let's put the right people there, because you are a citizen who can make decisions, who is able to participate in bringing changes in our great country, Kenya. So let me ask, and it shouldn't take up what I mentioned here. Okay? Are we enjoying the kind of life that we're leading? Saa hii unga ya ugali ilikuwa around 80 shillings in was it 2017, I can say? It is almost 200 shillings. Maybe for you guys cannot feel that pinch. Sisi kama wamama wazazi we feel it. But soon mtaanza kuisikia. Are we really living this life? What can we do about it? Is not voting an option here? Kuna mwenye atasema mimi hao wawili ama watatu sioni yule ambaye nataka. We shouldn't take any political. I'm just challenging you to think that if you're thinking that not voting is an option, it's not. If you don't want so and you feel like mimi sitapiga kura sababu staki, already you have voted for the other person that you don't like. Because a lesser vote for a good person is another vote to poor leader, right? So it's a time for youth to think and know that this country equally belongs to you. A change begins with youth. We are the majority. You guys are the majority. I'm past 35. So you guys are the majority. You need to make that good decision. Nenda mpige kura. Msiseme mimi siendi kupanga line. I have a niece. Let me just give an example of my own niece. I'm an advocate. I push youth to vote. I push youth to to register and vote, because I believe it's only through vote that we can make the changes that we want. So my niece just graduated from KU. She's in 23, 24. So the other day I'm like, unapiga kura? Kambia mimi sipigi. And why? I've not registered. Siendi kupanga line to register. How? Do you like the life? Do you enjoy, because now you are a citizen? Unajivunia unga, you buy everything for yourself. Do you enjoy this life? No. Do you want to change? Do you want a change? Of course, yes, I want. How is that change going to come if you don't participate in it? Do you have any favorite person that you feel, if this person gets to power, maybe I will see the change that I'm thinking of? Akasema, of course, yes, I have a favorite politician, and I think if he gets to power, there might be changes. And then how is this person going to ascend to power if you cannot vote for him? The moment you say you're not going to vote, that means you have elevated the other person. See? So I drove her to the polling station and I made sure she got to her. They say charity begins at home. I cannot be an advocate for democracy and then my own someone from within is not practicing.
Hi everyone. Hi. Thank you for coming. My name is Makena Fradina. I'm the Accommodation Secretary at Jkuat. So thank you so much for coming. Badili, I'm so glad that you're here. Actually, this is the second time I'm hosting an event. Guys, we are the people that more often complain about the poor leadership, but what are we really ready to do about it? You know, if at all we want the game to change, our rules must change. You know what rules? Those rules that Madam Kerubo was talking about. Siwezi amka kupanga line, hata akiingia hata nisaidia na nini, you know. Yes, wataendelea kukula pesa if at all you're not going to act on it. It is your voice, your vote that will be your voice. It's the only way that you can get involved in this national politics. Thank you, and have a nice event.
I would like to appreciate visitors for coming and deciding to be with us. See, Jkuat, when I say Jkuat, Jkuat is a giant to this nation, and actually most of the successful people have passed through Jkuat in a way. There's something funny with us youths, because we have only concentrated with the upper seats, not forgetting that the person that will help you is my MCA here in Juja. It's my MP when you're hapa hivi Juja, is we as students. It's the governor of Kiambu. By the time nenda kutengeneza kama kutafuta raha kama Ruto, atuhitajia mahitaji yetu, ninaweza mtafuta ka 5 years nisha before nifikie. But these people, the local leaders, are the people that are going to help us with our issues here in Juja. Even at our homes, these local leaders are the ones that are going to change our lives. If we start with them, actually, hapo juu itakuwa something different. Let's not concentrate on electing a person, a president who is not corrupt, yet tumefunga macho to these other local leaders. It's better we have a president who is corrupt, but at least we have leaders, local leaders who have integrity. It's through them that this nation is going to be changed. And let's embrace the fact that we have most youths that have decided to join politics, and we are not supporting them. Why? Because they are not able to give us money or to give us something in return of our votes. If you elect them, those are the people that are going to advocate for our rights and maybe for our interests out there. But again, we also look at, it's not the fact that I might be famous today because of singing and doing some music. Then the other day, I decide to go and take a political role, and that you're going to elect me due to the fact that I'm famous. Or maybe I'm a TikToker and I have got so many subscribers and so many followers. Then I stand and say, I want to now you vote for me as maybe a certain seat that that's a joke. That's a joke. Let us elect also youths who have got that leadership skill and people we know that are going to advocate for our interests and our rights. I have a message, I have a peace message that I would like to share with us. And allow me to read it. Realize the pursuit of peace is not dramatic, it's the pursuit of war. And frequently, the words of the pursuers fall on deaf ears. But we have no urgent task, and that is very dangerous. Defeatless belief which leads to the conclusion that war is inevitable. And we are gripped by forces we cannot control. Let's abandon and not accept that view. Our problems are man-made and therefore can be solved by man. No problem of human destiny is beyond human beings. The human reason and psyche has often solved the seamlessly and soberly. Kenya's peace, like the community peace, doesn't require that each man love his neighbor. No. It requires only that we live together in mutual tolerance, submitting our disputes to just and a peaceful settlement. Peace need not be practical. Let genuine peace be a product of our nation and the sum of many acts. Let it be dynamic and not static, changing to meet the challenge of each new generation, for peace is a process, a way of solving problems. Let's not be blind to our differences, but let's also direct attention to our common interests by means to which our differences can be resolved. And if we can't end them, at least we can help make Kenya safe for diversity. Let's not forget that we all inhabit this nation, Kenya, and we all breathe the same air for our cherish our future as well as the future of our children. Remember, we all are mortal. Let's do our part to build a nation of peace. We are not helpless before that task. Hakuna mkate ngumu mbele ya chai. Let's not labor on a strategy of annihilation, but towards a strategy of peace. The kind of peace that will make life in our nation worth living. The kind that will enable us and the nation grow and build a better life for the present and the future. Hashtag promoting peace is my number one goal in the coming general election. Amani idumu Kenya. So fellow youths, let's put to consideration the fact that let peace be my number one goal in the coming general election, and there's a life to live even after the 2022 elections. Tupendane, amani idumu. Asanteni.
Yeah. Form 34A. How many copies are those? 4 of them. From each of the polling stations. So this RO is going to now consolidate these Form 34As into one Form 34B. So he's going to take the results, fit them into a Form 34B. Haya, ameweka results zote hapo na Form 34B. The constituency RO is going to transmit them directly, physically. Utatoka Marakwet, ukuja Nairobi. Film na leo. He is going to bring them directly to Chebukati. That is Form 34B. Same as other 289 constituency ROs, because we have 290 constituencies. So Chebukati will be having 290 Form 34Bs. With those 290, he is going to generate and consolidate them into one and generate Form 34C. With the results that show on Form 34C, Chebukati is going to declare the winner of the presidential election using Form 34D. D for declare. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, inaibiwa where are votes stolen? Hapa kwa police station. Hapa kwa police station. Sindio? My friend here, Ben Dina, Kerube and Diombo are my observers and agents. Right? So what is happening here? They are watching. Where is it stolen? Where is it stolen? Unless your agent is hungry and unpaid, between this and this, remember the Form 34A that is coming from the polling station is brought physically here, and first, before it was brought, it was scanned and sent to the National Talent Center via EDMS. My friend, inaibiwa wapi?
Huyo mwenye anaskana kwa connections.
Si huyo, ndugu. I want us to walk this journey with you. You're a good dancer. You have a good talent. This person here who is coming, the observers are watching. The agents are watching. It's being done in their presence. And after that form that is going to be scanned, there are other copies that will be given to the agent, that will be given to the observer, and one will be stamped on the door of the polling station, so that the people may authenticate that what was sent is what we had on ground. How is it stolen? Thank you. I believe there's no answer to that. Right? Now let us go to the results of the next candidate. The member of National Assembly, MP, who mwenye tunaita mheshimiwa ndio wa CDF. So my 4 polling stations, each of these presiding officers has their results. That is Form 35. That is Form 35A. After the election is done at 5, they are going to fill Form 35A. And then they are going to bring Form 35B to this gentleman here and give him, he will generate Form 35B. Using that Form 35B, he is going to generate Form 35C, with which he will declare the winner of the seat, the elective position, member of National Assembly. So, njia yote MP inaishia wapi? Kwa mdosi hapa kwa constituency. The same thing will happen with the MCA. Zitaishia wapi? Hapa. But for the governor, the senator, and the county women representative, it will come from the polling station, please. Utamletea. That is from 36A, that is from 37A, 38A, and 39A. Zimekuja kwa constituency. And then this Mudosi of ours here will generate from 37B, 38B, and 39B out of the consolidated documents that the A's he has. And then he'll bring them to the county RO. He will bring them to him. And this gentleman here will generate from 37C, 38C, and 39C. Right? So, letter results sorted. And then, using form 37B, 38D, and 39D, our county RO will declare the winners for the positions of governor, senator, and county women representative. That is how robust, ladies and gentlemen, the election results transmission framework is. Where is this story?
After consolidation, ya hizi votes kwa RO.
After
consolidation of the county now is from 36, from 35, from 38 mpaka from 39. Once ikifika pale kwa RO, in as much zimebandikwa kwa mlango ya police station, sali zina transmitiwa watu wakishua ni ngapi zimetoka. Kwa sababu kwa police station utapata zile out of 700 ama 500. Police station nyingine inatoka na thousands of police stations. So pale confusion inatokea sasa zimefika kwa RO ama CRO, ndio kuna zingine tunaitwa kifaransa ya computer. Hatujui the exact number ya zile votes kwa sababu zikifika pale pesa na kuinterfere. So tunakushua haujui votes ni ngapi zimetoka.
The form A's come from the polling station. They are transferred physically and both bicycle after they are sent to the national RO. So this physical copy that is brought here is stamped and signed by the agents. That is according to law. That is what happens according to law. So when it gets to the constituency RO, the constituency RO is not seated in their office. The CRO is within the constituency tallying center. Within that constituency tallying center, for those of us who observe the Kiamba election, we have agents, we have observers, we have media, we have security forces present in that place. So I want to ask us, ladies and gentlemen, if that document that came from the police station was signed by the agent, because it has to be signed. That is law. We don't take any. So by the time it's getting here, it's signed. This is what we use to consolidate and develop and generate the form the form B's. So how is it confused? How is it changanywa? Is it logically making sense that it is possible for a form that was already scanned and sent to the National Talent Center to be altered or manipulated where the arrow is? Remember, this same document that he's possessing will also be transferred from where he is. They're not destroyed. They will be sent to the National Talent Center. All of them. And they will be archived for 3 years. That's law. Question.
Right to vote, like freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So like, if I don't want to vote, I'm expressing myself.
That there is no one can compel you to go vote or not to vote. So I can't say it is my right not to vote, but it is a choice I have to make. It's free will. Hakuna mtu atakuja kuita kwa kitandani basi na vurugu wewe ukapige kura. Nikiamua sitaki ndio hivyo tayari.
So you have the right as a citizen to either put that right of voting into action or not to. So what are the barriers of participation? How are the citizenry of Kenya not listened to? Amongst them, we have cultural practices that hinder the participation of special groups in the political process, discrimination political violence, intolerance, lack of or inadequate information on electoral processes, which is why we conduct voter education, difficulty in acquiring national identification documents such as IDs, lack of information in accessible formats for persons with disability. Allow me to inform you that the Commission has taken into consideration under the 14th chapter of the Elections Operations Plan to include special interest groups. So I want us to understand the importance of voting. One, we must cherish the fact that we live in a democratic country. It builds confidence in the voter by the fact that I know that my candidate won, and so I know that, according to his manifesto, my interests are represented. Social recognition and integration opens doors to we the people, and that is why the Constitution opened up that position called the County Women Representative to give SIGs, that is specifically the women, social recognition. We have also nominated members to parliaments.
In 2013, we had a prize about winning an election. It also happened in 2017. Now we are in 2022. What did we not do in 2013 and 2017, or what we do that time, that we're not going to do this time, so that we minimize the cases of winning an election?
2013 or up there, we had this person who was born with no fingerprints. And it was hard for him to take our national ID and also to participate in the voting. So right now, in cases like those, if they happen, because that person is still there, and to my research, nothing has been done. So the IBC, what's up to it? To help that person exercising the right of voting.
Biometrics go beyond fingerprints. No. They include your eyes, the landscape of your face itself. And that's why we take photos of people to verify them, so that they can also be recognizable. I believe that person has a face, right? I don't want to answer a question of policy, because I would have had the DICC answer that question, because they are the people responsible for addressing the issues affecting people with special needs. I don't want to refer to them as disabled. I don't believe they're disabled. They just have abilities in different sectors that we do with ours. But now, I believe that the DICC, in its robustness, has come to bring these issues to light. So the Commission may also be aware. You also know the Commission is not an angel. They can't do everything. And that's why we open the doors to these people. Let them bring us the issues so that we see how we are going to follow. I don't want to answer a policy question, because that's not for me. But I'm sure if that happened, the DICC is working on it.
Public officer is someone who, it's an officer who is in charge of the public, and then a state officer is in charge of the state itself.
A state officer is any public officer who is legally appointed or elected to conduct business on behalf of the state. So all state officers are public officers, but not all public officers are state officers.
Stand by me. Keishugi. I'm a 4th-year student, partaking Bachelor of Science in Community Development and Environment. Today's event for me, it was good actually. Nimefurahia sana, learn mambo mengi. For once about the voting and stuff, nimesaidika actually. The coming elections I'm going to vote. It's important to vote because we need leaders in our country, and the leaders mostly they're the ones who determines our economy is. And if we don't vote, it means that we are going to have poor leadership, and at the end of the day it will affect us. The reason as to why most of the young people they don't want to vote ni disappointment wamepata. For example, you believe in a guy, unafikiria akienda hapo juu, maybe in one way or another they are going to help you, but when wakipata those positions it end up like wanajibenefit wao wenyewe and they forget those who helped them. What can be addressed? Okay, it's just awareness and trying to convince them that we need leadership. No matter what happens, we still need leadership because they're the one who determines our economy is.
My name is Jedida Mongeli. I'm a student in Kenyatta University taking economics, and I'm passionate about politics and governance. This event was very educative, especially the presentation by one of the representatives from IBC. Personally, I didn't know about Form 34A, B, C, D, and the declaration forms. At least I got an opportunity to learn them, and I can use my influence among my friends to tell them about voting and answer some of the hardest questions among the youth right now. Personally, I feel like reasons why the youth don't want to vote, they feel like, I did a poll on my Instagram, and most of them say the leaders are already chosen. I don't know where that comes from. Leaders are already chosen, my vote won't count. The queues are so long. Yeah, but again, I think it all narrows down to the youth haven't gotten enough voter education. Like for me, from what has been presented today, at least I've been convinced that it's so hard to have the elections rigged. So I think the youth need more voter education so that they may get convinced to go and vote. And this is not a one-day thing, it's a daily conversation till the last day. Every day we get more youth who are convinced to vote.
My name is Ochieng Meg Tiffany. I'm in Jkuat. I'm in 3rd year, and I'm taking public administration and leadership. Today's event was fun. Actually, this is my first event. Now that I'm a voter for the first time, I just came to know the do's and the don'ts. I've not been educated. This is my first time, and it was fun. I've really learned a lot. It's very important to me. Voting is a major role. Me as a citizen of Kenya, that's my right. It's my right to choose my leaders. First, voting enables you to make a change in Kenya. It's like your voice. As the youth, first, we have a bad mentality about voting. First, there's this mentality that leaders will always be chosen by some people who are representing us. Leaders are always, if I vote, it doesn't make any difference. They are already chosen leaders for us.
My name is Grace Mwaka. I'm in Jkuat, main campus, and I do Bachelor of Commerce. Coming to this Badili initiative, I personally came for the GLAM section. I didn't register to vote because I didn't see how voting actually affects me. But then coming to Badili Africa initiative, the GLAM section, it really changed my perspective about voting, and I've really seen how voting actually affects me as an individual. Yeah, so the next time round, I think I'll be taking a vote. And also, I'm also going to encourage my friends and also my peers to take a vote because voting actually affects them as individuals.
I'm Teresa. I'm doing BCom. I'm in 3rd year, 2nd semester. I'm not a registered voter. Reason being, I didn't feel the urge to vote. And I've been relocating, so I don't know who to vote for. The station was here for registering for voters, but knowing where I will go to vote, because I won't be here, was the issue. So I didn't consider that. Maybe next time when I'm settled, I'll consider voting.
When I say, I've had so many people say that when you go campus and then unaishi mbali,
yeah,
that's a real issue.
Naitwa Grace Mwaka.
Are you a registered voter?
No, I didn't feel I'm not interested in politics, to be honest. Politics inani affect as a third party, not as a direct person. So maybe when I'm done in school, I'm in the world kama hizo, so maybe I'll start considering taking such decisions. I have some friends who like politics is in their blood and they feel that they need to make a decision. Yeah, so not all of my friends are like me.
When you say that you feel like you're a third party, is it because you don't have passion? Because the way you're explaining is like your friends like politics, that's why they want to vote. It's not about liking politics, it's about knowing how it affects you. The way it affects the person who like it is the way it affects you. So it's not about that I like politics, that's why I want to vote. And another thing you said later, it will affect you later. The decision that you make right now will have an impact in that future you are talking about. In the next 4 years, you won't be in the university, will you? You'll be out there. But the decision that you made now will still will affect you in that 2025, because the next election will be 2027, right? So you're still affected. You're not a third party. You are directly affected.
It's important to vote because when you look at people like MPs, and especially MPs and MCAs, MPs are the people who draft the legislation that affects how Kenya runs, yes? And even if we have people, especially what I've heard is people don't want to vote because presidential candidates, etc. But what they're forgetting is the people who draft your bylaws and your laws are not that person at the top. It's the person at the grassroots. And that's who you need to actually talk to, engage with, and find out where their policies are, where they lie. Because for so long, we've had this narrative, especially in Kenya, that your vote really doesn't count, yeah? And that, either way, you atapata, and that's what we've grown up hearing. And once you grow up hearing and being fed such a narrative, then even for you, you have no hope. You see, if you don't vote, you do not change the system. Yeah, but people do not understand that, especially our age group, uni students, we do not understand that. We have programs such as these, and I think Badili Africa has really taken it up and brought a light to youth and leadership, youth and governance, yeah? And even if we have some people shying away from such programs, at least, we have tried bringing up this topic, bringing up this issue. And maybe we'll get 5 or 6 people, but it's still someone reached.
My name is Jessica Karaoke, and I am an intern in the M&D department at Badili Africa. Today's event was a success. I am satisfied. Even though we had some few hitches, everything fell into place, and I am grateful. And I also hope we emulate the same strategy we used here for other activities. We work with institutions of higher learning, and we have a database that we look into. So, for example, we also work with UN. We're trying to have a balance between the public and the private universities. So, Jkuat was part of our radar for that.
Definitely vote, because I feel it's the only weapon I have as a young person to bring the change that I need.
So I will be voting. It's one of my rights to vote. And then the second thing, I think voting gives you the power to influence the leaders that you want to be chosen. So like, even if it's my one vote, it still makes a difference.
Do you think your friends will be voting?
Most of them, no. Most of them, think that it won't make a change because if they look at the leaders that they are supposed to, who are vying, and like they are supposed to consider to choose from, they don't think any of them will make a difference. They see that the situations that they are in the counties, it still will remain as it is, like no big change will happen.
One reason why I'm voting is because I've been educated on the why I should vote. Another thing why I'm voting is because it's my right and my duty to vote as a Kenyan citizen. Yeah, and the third thing is that there's pride in seeing a leader that umechagua. And about voter apathy, I think the youth ndio wanaeffectiwa sana na hiyo, people lack interest in voting. One reason is they don't know why they should vote, and they don't trust these leaders that they want because they usually say anisaidi. Yeah, I think that this education should be more mfike huko ndani. The people wako campus and they don't know how to access this education. Yeah, many people should be educated on why and how and their advantages. Yeah, so that you find many people voting.
I'm not so sure kama nitavote. Some point nataka kuvote juu I feel sitaki nianze complain these leaders hawatusaidii, but at the same time niko na voter apathy.
It does matter because even if the person I'm voting for has part of your post, at least I took part in it. So yeah, I'll feel I'll be part of that.
Nitavote kwa watu wenye wamenisaidia, now that I'll consider the good part of it, nitavote. President pia ni mzuri, lakini watu wenye wanatusaidia at county level, I thank devolution for that, and I'll vote for the best. Sita angalia party ama nini ama anything. County yetu iko na different parties, but I'll vote for the best.
So hii Roma ya kimeibiwa, unasikianga vifaranga sijui nini.
There's a time like the previous elections now, the last before this ones, kuna time tulikuwa, well, some of us were sure Raila is going to win because now we thought akona so many supporters, and actually ukiangalia the tally, there's a time he was ahead. So from nowhere ika invite to we meshanga hizi numbers zimetoka wapi, na hivyo ilienda hivyo na hivyo the post ilienda hivyo. Unaona,
like I said, our thoughts are valid. Hata wenye wamesema hawatapiga kura, wenye wamesema hawajaregister ku vote because it's already been decided. But then when you narrow down, when people say it has been decided, you hear us talking about the presidency. Like amepena tu example, amesema presidential candidate X alikuwa na vai kura yake, tukasikia kura yake imeibiwa, si ndio? But you see, unapata the same people si tunaongea about the presidency pia pale, atujui MCA, atujui MP ni nani, atujui women rep ni nani, na mtu mwenye anaweza ensure quality of life penye unaishi hiyo mtaa yako ni nani? MCA. Na nani mwingine? Right? Ni MCA na MP. So unaona hapa hivi sasa, imagine only 2 people hapa hivi wanajua MCA wao, imagine. So if you have, let's say, a good president na MP wako na MCA wa decide wafanye kazi, utakuwa na maendeleo kwa mtaa yako na kutakuwa na maendeleo kwa mtaa yako, si ndio? At the end of the day. And that is why we should actually actively show up in August 9, 2022 and vote for that particular leader mwenye interact nayo kwa like anaweza leta maendeleo, si ndio?
Sikatai ati these people ni important to vote here, and okay, for example here in Juja, there are so many people who are vying for MCA. Ukienda tu around Juja utaona tu posters, huyu every tree with a different person. Well, for one, we don't know these people. Number two, there's nothing impactful they've done for us as students and to the neighborhood. So pia inakuwa hard for us, as in someone just comes up one day and they're like, I want to vie for MCA. Hajafanya kitu, hatumjui at all. Like it pia ni difficult for us as voters ku distinguish nani ndo ataka kwa hiyo kiti na I deserve.
But the problem starts with us. If I stand here today and I say I'm running for presidency, how many people will support me? Why? No, don't say I'm a woman. Why?
I don't know you. I've literally met you just a second ago, but from how you're talking, you look like someone who can make a difference. As in, interaction so far unakam to akili iko na kitu
Mimi nitakuvotea because first of all akujai kwa na any female president, and this could be our first time to empower feminism. Okay, see feminism, but at least tuko na one female president, only one. Alafu unajua maybe other people are going to be encouraged by the fact that you can become a president hata kama wewe ni female. Yeah. Unaona?
Now, thank you to my 2 voters. The problem comes in, yes, we want to, but mimi siwezi amka mapema kwenda kupanga line kuvotia watu cause najua already president ashajulikana. You see, that is the problem. We want to get to Canaan, but the journey to Canaan, we don't want to make it. Mimi ni baby girl. I can't go there. I can't do this. Why? Let's vote.
I think the political sector has been dominated mostly by the males more than the females. First, for the females themselves, we need to, charity begins at home. Unafaa kusupport your fellow, ndio hiyo pia iweze kufika huko. It's not just by words, it needs actions. And it's not like a walk in the park.
If you're aggressive and you have very good ideas, you have very good manifestos, then you're going to sell out, regardless whether you're a woman or you're a man. Because we have seen women out there winning. Now, genuinely, right now, if you're an aggressive woman, as long as you're aggressive, you have good manifestos, people are going to buy that idea. We have women governors, we have women in all these positions. We have women who are MPs, women who are up there. Now, bottom line, all of them, if you see maybe aggressiveness, hard work. So for me, I think if you work hard, you become very aggressive, you have good manifestos, people will vote you in. You'll manage to buy those people.
Also support what she's saying. You see, right now, we have Mother Karua. Ni sawa, maybe she's from the older days, so hautamwona akivaa kama sisi, akipaka makeup kama sisi, but there is the art of politics. It's like teaching. Huwezi kuja kufunza na umeamua uvae kama musician na umekuja kufunza. So in politics, you just can't come ordinarily na uamue itabidi mmeni accept. So if you're that aggressive, you're this person who doesn't care about speaking her mind, then you're aggressive. But si ati ukuje useme mbona hawataki kuni accept, simi pia ni mwanadamu. Unajua itaenda hivyo, nothing comes easy. Personally, I vied, and I can tell you for sure, you go maybe sleepless nights, unalala 3 a.m. Baby girl pale atasema nini? Mimi 10 nimefika. Acha nikafanye night routine. Utataka na hiyo makeup yako iishe, ujishike ukijisugua ndio urudi uende ulale. You see, are you willing to go that extra mile?
I have another angle towards your definition of aggressiveness. Let's talk about business, yeah? You're a business person. When someone says this business person is aggressive, and you've really succeeded and your business is thriving, when I say that person is aggressive, will you use the same definition? Yeah, so I think when someone uses aggressive, it depends on the thinking of the person. I can take it well, another person will not take it well. So I don't think it's a bad term. If it works for you, yes. If it doesn't work for you, use another one.
As Africans, specifically as Kenyans, we have to decolonize our minds. But allow me to digress. But that is the main point. If you think of Mother Karua, what word comes to your mind? If it's not Iron Lady, what else? And for the longest time, ladies in politics want to achieve that status. Oh, she's an Iron Lady. Uyo huwezi pita na yeye. Nini. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that this is something men want you to perceive for you to become.
Can we just have a place whereby we are all from one tribe and not distinguish Temba is a Jaluo, I'm a Kisii, I'm a Kikuyu. I think if you are one, then that tribalism can just be scrapped away.
Yeah.
the problem is how like education, shule, science, girls are only taught about parts of the body, head, shoulders, knees and toes. But sasa ikifika sensitivity ya huku, you're just like, that's my chuchu, no one should touch it. And when someone is touching it, it's my husband. And if someone touches it and it shows I get pregnant, I am a curse. Why are you pregnant? You should be studying. So you try to look for abortion.
It may affect a lot of people wenye najua, as in for example, kuna si best yangu at such, but a certain neighbor mwenye alikuwa na date msee akapata ball, but sasa si akakataliwa. Sasa after kukataliwa hana option, ni hapa tuko campus. Uwezi sema eti ukamwambia mzazi wako uko na ball because anakuambia si nimekuleta hapo usome. What happened? So unapata hapo the only option, na hajui si venye umesema last year ndo umejua story ya story ya hizo dawa hizo but sasa yeye hajui. So the option alikuwa nayo akaambiwa na one of a friend of hers aende achukue aliambiwa achukue what was it called, majani ya chai. So uwekio majani ya chai ya kwenye ile kama unapika chai but uweki sukari, unaweka tu hiyo majani sasa mingi. Imagine so akafanya hivyo. Sasa si after amekunywa hiyo, si anataka the purpose, anataka atoe ball. After amefanya hivyo, si ball ikatoka, but sasa unajua hawezi, anafeel ile so ashamed of going even to the hospital. Imekaa paka imefika too late, ndo watu wamekuja wamempeleka sasa hosi, maana after the pain sijui nini anakaka na kwamba ako almost anakufa. Kupelekwa hosi anaambiwa ameharibu the womb. So anaambiwa it's anaweza ile sawa ameabort, bado mtoto wako hapo, so bado kusujui kusafishwa atolewe. Sasa everything kutolewa, naambiwa sasa hiyo womb imeharibika, so it is the last one, hawezi pata ball tena. So hivi angalia venye amejaribia life, maana hivi na ako second year tuseme, hata the whole of her married life atakuwa any hazai yani. I think in my opinion, I feel too it's so wrong, and I feel that people wakwedu hata kama sawa, I know watu wengine hawezi kabila sex, wengine wana feel sijui
just stories that tell me like prices za hizo dawa, tell me like about last year hapo. Na okay, I think I'm privileged kuliko tell watu wako kwa slums kitu kama hiyo, si ndio? So imagine mimi nimejua like hizo prices kama last year, and so tell me mimi kiweza nishika nataka kwa bot, see I know where to go, si ndio? I know who to talk to, juu nilijua through friends kitu kama hiyo, right? But kuna mtu mahali ako hata hajui kwanza anatoa hizo dawa, hajui hata like hajui atatoa hizo dose, ndio? And then let's say I want to run for office, alafu nimeshikwa na ball, niko bado kwa mathe. You think I'm going to run for office hizo? Kwanza niko na stress ya natoa pido za kulea mtoi, right? Ndio? And then kuna watu bado wako nini, sema programmed in a certain way, abortion is wrong. Sema hata sijui naanza kulea mtoto kutoka wapi, but nishaambiwa abortion is wrong and all that, ndio? But mimi vile nafikiria mimi siwezi lea mtoi sahi mazee, right? So sema kitu kai